Alright, so our first video of this week is Order of Operations, or some of you may know it by PEMDAS. We are going to be starting in on algebra review, so please make sure you're solid in this, because if you don't have this foundation, you're going to struggle through geometry. So here I just have like a graphic organizer. You have the order of operations. First off, you have parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, and then addition and subtraction. This tells you the order that you do things. You start with parentheses, then go on to exponents. You do multiplication and division from left to right, and same thing with addition and subtraction. You go left to right. So just real quick on this example that I have here, you have 2 minus 5 squared, minus 4 over 2 plus 3 times 2. Parentheses is first, so that's why we do 2 minus 5 to get to negative 3. After parentheses, you do exponents. We have a squared here, so negative 3 squared gives us 9. Then we do multiplication and division from left to right. Our fraction is a division problem, so that comes first. 4 divided by 2 gives us 2. And then we do our multiplication. 3 times 2 gives us 6. Now we just have addition and subtraction left, so remember we're going to go from left to right. 9 minus 2 is going to give us 7, and then finally 7 plus 6 gives us 13. I will be posting this so you can reference it if you want to, but that's just a quick overview of it all. Remember, this should be a review for you, so if you're still confused, please join a live session so I can help you and get you straightened out. So we're just going to jump into some examples. First, we're going to look at the one on top. I need to first ask myself, are there any parentheses? Yes, there are. We have this set where 3 plus 7 is inside. So that tells us we're going to do that first. I have 14 minus, and then 3 plus 7 gives me 10. I've done the parentheses. I'm going to mark it off. Now I ask myself, are there any exponents? There aren't, so I mark that off. Now same thing, multiplication and division. There's none, so I'm going to cross it out. And then finally addition and subtraction. That's what's left. So I have 14 minus 10, and my final answer is 4. Now the second problem I'm going to go ahead and let you do on your own. There is going to be a question that pops up next that asks you what you got as your answer. So now I'm going to do the top one with you here. Again, we ask ourselves, are there parentheses? And there are. We have 5 squared plus 2. Now inside the parentheses, I need to go in the same order. There's not another set of parentheses, but I do have an exponent in there. So I'm going to do 5 squared first. That's going to give me 25 plus 2 times 3. So now I did the exponent, but I still have the parentheses there, so I need to continue. Inside parentheses, I have 25 plus 2, so that gives me 27. And then I have times 3 on the outside. And of course, my last step here is to do 27 times 3, and that gives me 81. Alright, so the second problem, I first asked myself, are there any parentheses? And there aren't, so we're good with that. The next thing is the exponents, and I do have a squared here. You need to be really careful with your exponents because they only apply to what's directly in front of them. So this is going to be 3 squared, not negative 3 squared. So I have 30 minus 3 squared is just 3 times 3, so that gives me 9 plus 4 times 5. I took care of my exponents. Now I do multiplication and division from left to right. I only have multiplication here at the end. So 30 minus 9 plus 4 times 5 gives me 20. And now I do addition and subtraction from left to right. So I'm first going to do 30 minus 9 to get 21 plus 20. And then my final step is to do 21 plus 20, and my answer is 41. Now something that is going to be really important that you need to become familiar with is this square root symbol. This is called a radical, and it's going to come in handy or really important when we do our distance formula in a couple units. You're just going to do everything under the radical first, and then at the very end, if you can take the square root, you're going to take it. So I still have the square root of, first I want to do whatever is in parentheses. So 10 minus 6 is going to give me 4 squared times 2 squared. Next, I do my exponent. So I have the square root of 4 squared gives me 16 times 2 squared gives me 4. I now do any multiplication and division. So 16 times 4 gives me 64. I don't have anything else under the square root sign, but I need to check. Can I take the square root of 64? Is there a number when I multiply it by itself that equals 64? There is, so our final answer here would be 8. So this last problem I'm going to do with you. The other ones I'm just going to give you the answers for. Remember, if it's a fraction, it's just a big division problem. So I want to check for parentheses. 3 squared is just going to be rewritten. We're not doing anything with it yet. I do have my first set of parentheses on the top. So 2 plus 3 gives me 5. Divided by, I have 2 plus 1 on the bottom. So 3 times 3. My parentheses are done. I now do my exponents. I only have 1, so 3 squared is 3 times 3. So I have 9 times 5 on the top divided by 3 times 3 on the bottom. I'm going to do my multiplication on top first. So I have 9 times 5, which is 45, divided by 3 times 3 gives me 9 on the bottom. And my last step is to do the division. 45 divided by 9 gives me 5 as my final answer. Now these two problems, I did just give you the answers, so if you think you need more help, go ahead and work them out, see if you got those answers. If you didn't, please shoot me an email that you need some help, come to a live session, and we'll get you figured out from there. Now the last part of this video is going to be over evaluating expressions. It goes hand in hand with order of operation and PEMDAS, and you'll see why in just a second. So evaluating expressions, I give you something with a variable in it, and I tell you what the variable is worth. So what number it is, you have to plug it in and then do your PEMDAS to solve it. So here I give you 5 minus y squared, and I tell you x is equal to 2 and y is equal to negative 3. So your first step is to plug in the values. When you plug in a value, I need you to use parentheses. So it's going to be 5 minus, and it's not y anymore. It's going to be negative 3 in parentheses and then squared. The parentheses are really important, especially with negative numbers. We're going to go through our PEMDAS. There's nothing to do inside parentheses, so that's the P. Next, we need the exponent. Remember, your exponent applies to what's directly in front of it, which is the parentheses. So it applies to everything inside there. So this is going to be negative 3 times negative 3. So we have 5 minus, and negative 3 squared gives us a positive 9. Remember, a negative times a negative is a positive. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and drop that parentheses, so 5 minus 9. And my last step is to do that subtraction, and it gives me negative 4. Alright, so you're going to go ahead and work this one out on your own. A question is going to pop up and ask you what you got for your answer. So make sure that you plug in, use your parentheses, and watch out for your negatives. Alright, so here is another one. You still have your PEMDAS, PEMDAS. So I'm going to plug the numbers in first. I have 2xy plus y squared if x is equal to 2 and y is equal to negative 4. So 2 times my x is now 2. Don't forget your parentheses. My y is a negative 4 plus y squared is going to be negative 4 squared. Now again, there's nothing to do in the parentheses, so I'm done with that. I have my exponent next, so the squared goes to everything in parentheses. Negative 4 squared is negative 4 times negative 4, which gives me 16. Now this first part, if you ever have anything where the parentheses are next to each other, a number is right attached to a parenthesis, that means multiplication. So we're going to break it apart in pieces. We're going to do 2 times 2 first, which gives me 4. Bring down that negative 4 and the plus 16. Now we do 4 times negative 4, which gives me negative 16 plus 16. They're opposites of each other, so when you add them together, you end up with 0. So you are going to try this problem on your own. Go ahead and work it on your own paper, and then I will ask you what you got for your answer in just a second. Same thing here. You are going to work this one on your own, and then I will ask you the question about it. So this last one is just on you. If you think you need to practice, go ahead and try this one out. You should get 24 as your answer. And again, if you don't, please make sure you attend one of the live sessions so I can help you out with it. You do have an assignment that goes along with this video. It's called Order of Operations Practice Problems. You're going to do your work on your own paper. The problems are up as a PDF, so you don't have to do anything there. You have to have the correct heading on your notebook paper. because you are going to submit a picture of it with the assignment and turn it in. If you don't have the correct heading, I will not accept it. Make sure you are working all the problems, and then when you're done, you'll just submit it as the assignment. If you're needing any help or you want to work some of those practice problems, please make sure you join a live session. I can work them with you, and let me know if you have any questions.